Hello and welcome to my ITSL Octave final against Antoine Danel, who I will be playing as the USA. And what we get here is a pretty interesting head, to say the least. It contains the same number of 4-ups as scorings, which is free. Um, and thanks to the fact that I'm the USA, I will have the right to drop Middle East immediately, which will grant me for 4 VPs unless he plays Nasser. Then I will try to get rid of Asia scoring ASAP with as little cost to it as it's possible. And then I will try to grab France with one of my beautiful 4-ups and dominate Europe. So that's the perfect plan. And if I am able to hold containment until next turn, then that's gonna be great. Of course, of course, my opponent may have something to say about this beautiful plan. So let's check what he's up to. If he's having a problem with choosing a headline, I suppose he probably has many good headlines. Because with the hand I got, it doesn't look like he's lacking red cards to play. Oh god! Oh no! Why? That's so bad. That's the best Cambridge 5 in the history of this game. Alright. Uh, yeah, so that's not very fun. Mm, the thing about France is that if he enters France, there's little he can do to stop me from either just taking it with a 4-up or realigning him out of there. So I suppose he will go for Thailand somehow. Probably not directly. We'll see how he manages to do that. But I would be surprised if he went for Europe. Unless he's gonna go for France and coup Italy or something like that, but that would be weird. Uh, yeah, it pretty much depends on whether he has duck and cover or not. If he has duck and cover, that's insanely good for him. He can basically choose if he wants to take France or Thailand or whatever and just grab it with duck. And I have little to say about that, so let's just hope that he doesn't have duck and cover. I would actually prefer him to have a decall or destall than duck and cover at this point, I think. It's just such a huge card for him, which is a paradox because it's supposed to be a blue one, but whatever. France. So he has duck? No, he has socialists? What is he doing? What the heck? Okay. Uh, of course I have to grab that. That 5 in Iran is unfortunate as heck, but well, not that I can do anything about it. I hope he doesn't have Suez Crisis, but I suppose that if he had Suez Crisis or Arab-Israeli War, he would have headlined those cards before Cambridge. On the other hand, oh my god. Okay, I was just about to say that on the other hand, I think it's possible that he actually has Suez, since he didn't have any socialists either, so maybe he was scared of defectors or something. Huh. So I have to coup something in the Middle East. I have to take France now too. I will do something like that. Of course, going to Algeria not only grants me presence in an important African battleground, but it's kind of a way of getting to the Middle East through Tunisia, uh, in case I am not able to get back there immediately. Take off, alright. Uh, yeah, I think I'm taking that anyway. And just enter Tunisia immediately. So now he saw some of my now he now he knows all my 4-ups, he knows all my scorings. I don't have many things to hide from him. I don't have many things that I can hide from him actually. And oh no, okay, so I guess he just breaks. Oh no, he gets fat. That's fair. Get rid of Europe. Okay, so yeah, he actually had some good headlines, and he decided to go for Cambridge 5 out of all things, exactly when I had 3 scorings. Damn it. Alright. I'm afraid there is not much I can do with that, so let's get rid of Asia, and then I guess I will just do something with independent threats on my last year. Oh, CIA. Oh. And he gets Marshall. Okay, so we actually split all the 4-ups among each other on the first AR. I mean, on the first turn. So I could enter Libya, but I think going to Malaysia is more important, getting access to Thailand. Cruise. What does hit crew? Really? Okay, that's very unlucky. Of course. Okay, so I'm being pretty fucked by rolls. And those looks like a good containment hand, so I will just go for it. Those 5 in Iran and 6 in Malaysia are pretty much a joke. Of course I got 3 4-ups, but it was a much needed help with my 3 scorings, which he knew about. Okay, with containment it's pretty easy to hold decall. I will just hold it in my hand for as long as I can, and if I get blockaded I will just drop it to blockade, so that's not an issue. So this hand is pretty garbage overall, but with containment it gets decent. It gets really good actually. With containment is good. Of course I don't see D-Stall, and I don't see Vietnam revolts. So those are 2 potential problems that I am gonna face. The benefit of DEFCON being at 4 is that I will almost surely get to do something, and I hope that I run. And I hope that this time I roll well, so I get to at least have some presence in the Middle East and maybe Pakistan or India. Nasser, alright, that's another potential coup target. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I will try to hold Comic-Con for as long as I can, since he may have distal and I don't want to give him free fuel. Alright, he goes with Olympic Games. And now we get to go back with NORAD, and we either go for Egypt or Iran. Iran is better, almost in each regard. No way! This has to be a joke. Okay, so... Alright, so... Alright, so I guess we're not getting presence in the Middle East, actually. We're just getting screwed. I'm probably not going to Turkey through Greece. That's probably a non-starter. He's just taking Libya, and I don't think I can do anything about it. UN and Marshall, so I'm not even getting that. So if I'm not getting Marshall, maybe I am actually going through... through Syria, I mean. Not through Libya. He still may have pistol. Okay, let's grab Indonesia, that's for sure. Let's enter Angola, that's for sure. And I guess let's enter Greece. The good news is that after the first turn the scoreboard doesn't look terrible, so if he doesn't have a distal, my situation is not tragic, since it's pretty unlikely that he will be able to win this game quickly, and in the mid-war anything can happen. If he has distal though, then it's a little bit worse. Then I guess I will have to try entering Colombia and make something happen there. He's thinking a lot, which may mean that he has distal. Would be very unlucky, but it's not necessarily the case. I could theoretically try to get back to the Middle East by breaking Libya and then Egypt, but I think this is just too much work. Okay, let's grab all those things. Romanian abdication event. Okay. Now that really smells like distal. So I guess let's try something like that. Of course, giving him Fidel when CAA is gone is not a perfect solution, but it is worth 3 ops with containment, so it's not like I can really afford not playing it now. Of course, he had distal, So there is Nigeria to take, there is Venezuela, and there is Chile, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm playing a4, that's for sure. No, not that. I'm giving him that. And now the question is, do I realign or do I break Venezuela? I'm so tempted to realign. But I should probably just break it, right? I'm not gonna take the risk since the VP track is in a pretty decent spot, so I guess I will try to not take major risks yet, since my situation is bearable despite awful dice. It's European unrest. Okay, that's not perfect, but that means that I will be able to hold decal until the reshuffle, so maybe my situation in Africa will remain as decent as it is now. I suspect he will just grab Brazil and place one more point in Venezuela, I guess. No, he takes Lebanon. Alright, let's ignore Middle East for a while. Hopefully I don't redraw it. Okay. Okay, he got in the Pakistani war captured Nazis, blockade and duck and cover. Uh, he doesn't know about defectors, so let's just go for them. And this is a terrible hand to get perched with, so if he has perch, I have no desire to play under perch with this hand. So let's just do that. Also, I have European hands, so if he has socialists, I don't want to give him any chance of grabbing France away from me. Especially when he could try that with duck and cover. I mean, he wouldn't grab it immediately, but that would have been annoying anyway. And actually, if I defect blockade, that's good enough, because I don't really have a card that I would love to discard to blockade. So, yeah. Probably the worst case scenario is him headlining captured Nazi scientists, but that's fine anyway. Then I can just space decal, and maybe I will get to fight for that first space track bonus, which wouldn't be available if he headlined captured Nazis without defectors. Okay, so he redrew perch, pretty disgusting, it gets defected, very good. So now he coups. And he probably coups Africa. The Pakistani war. Oh, that's enough. That's enough. Alright. It's probably not gonna be a huge issue to get mill-ups. Okay, I think I'm fighting for that. That looks pretty important. So let's do something like this and try to threaten something in Africa. If I get him to coup, I will get to coup back. At least I will get mill-ups. I also don't know his hand, so he may have some scorings or obligations that he wants to fulfill. He wants to event capture Nazis sooner or later, probably sooner. So I will not make it easy for him if if I can. He got UN again, and he plays it with duck. Alright. That's not a new information for me. Alright. So I have three options now. I could play something for Robes and overprotect Zaire. And, I don't know, enter Costa Rica. That's probably not important, so maybe take Mexico or something. Second option is dropping Europe. Third option is spacing Deco. This UN with duck play looks like he's poor. I could even event 5-year plan, but I probably don't want to. Okay, so I think I will try spacing Deco, because what I know for sure is that he has captured Nazi scientists, and he will probably want to event that ASAP, so this will probably be my only chance of, oh my god, of doing that before he gets to do it. Okay, I'm not really scared about the fate of Europe, so I will take Zaire and Mexico. Middle East hurts a lot. Ah! I'm so mad at those rolls in turn 1. Alright. Now he events that, that's fine. So now I can drop Europe. So he has blockade and something. I'm curious what is his plan with blockade. I will not get to know it now though. Okay, so I'm not playing Warsaw Pact, I'm not spacing anything, so I'm giving him something. I will just give him Arp Israeli War, right? So, either I'm giving him Arab Israeli War, which is worth like a point on average, or I'm giving him Vietnam Revolts and then he can take Laos and overprotect Thailand with blockade, and then I get to play Warsaw Pact. Nah, I think I will give him Arab Israeli War. A1, A5. I don't know why I expected anything else, but that's acceptable, I guess. If I get to discard Warsaw Pact, then that means that I get to have some fun in Europe potentially later, so I will not cry over that. And blockade is back in the deck. Yeah, I guess let's give him Warsaw. Have fun. Yeah, let's think what to do with it. Breaking Brazil is an obvious one. I could try figuring something out with South Africa or Guatemala, but I just don't think that there is anything better than robbing Brazil. I mean, than breaking Brazil. And now potentially, if I... Jesus Christ, what is this hand? Okay, this is like a tragedy. Okay, so if I drew South America scoring, I would have some chances of stealing some VPs, but with this hand, I don't know if I will be able to steal literally anything. We'll see though. Will bury you is a acceptable card to have. Rome Gunman is tragic. Cambridge 5. No, actually Wilbury is pretty annoying. Of course nuclear subs is a must here because this hand is literally useless, so with nuclear subs at least I will have some purpose to give to the cards I have, because now I can at least use them to coup his stuff over and over again and count, hope for good rolls. Also, a good bonus thing here is that with nuclear subs in play, he may be tempted to not lower the DEFCON and just retake Brazil or something. Okay. Missile envy. So I guess he gets Will Dario, and I just take Brazil. So what I was going to say is that with nuclear subs in play, he may be tempted to not lower the DEFCON, and then Lone Gunman would have been playable. But in this situation, it's not gonna be playable. However, after his play, I am able to take Brazil for that. So it's not literally the worst thing in the world. It's fine. The other thing is that now I'm left with 1 and 2 ops and without being purged for the whole turn, literally. I will literally not play any card with value higher than 2, which is a pretty big downside to this hand, if you ask me. Okay. The good thing is that there are not many places that in which he can just break me, so he can't really threaten anything seriously. Okay, that's a first good roll of the game. Excluding that one space roll with Deco, that was a decent one too. Shuttle doesn't change literally anything, it's worth 1 point at best. If he allows me, I will probably event Portuguese Empire and coup with it immediately, so that Angola gets overprotected and I get rid of this event from the game. John Paul is potentially an event. Mix on the space, that's fine. Okay, I don't feel the desire to space Portuguese now because he failed, so I don't need to stop him from spacing twice. So let's overprotect Angola. That was not a very significant roll, but I'm glad that it worked as well. I wonder if I should event John Paul. Because, like, in the short term it doesn't grant me anything, but in the long term it may be useful. I think that maybe I should. Maybe it's a decent plan, actually. How I learned event. Okay, so first going to be 1 coup from him. I guess he can take Gunman now. Since I am not gonna hold it if he allowed me to get rid of it. So please coup away, sir, if that's what you want. Saharan states coup. That's not a problem. I will just take Tunisia. So now he knows I have special, so even if he has NATO, he will probably not give it to me anytime soon. Willy Brandt event is completely harmless. especially with Truman still being around somewhere. So I will just ignore that. Yeah, let's just go for the Pope. Or maybe I would just use this opportunity to boost Zaire. Right. Number 6. I would swap all those 6s for 1 6 in Iran in early war. Ah, but okay. Now Africa looks pretty. Now Africa probably gets to be overturned to his side by either ABM or Brush or other four ops coup, because those countries are pretty overprotected. So I can take back West Germany, take back Brazil, or maybe I don't even take back West Germany. Maybe I just go to Guatemala. I will not play around Che, since Che is bad for me anyway, because he already has good targets for him. So I will just not bother with avoiding non-battlegrounds. And Central America is yet to be scored. And he still gets to coup once, so if he wants to coup, he has to do it now. Yep. Alright, so my coups in Africa are definitely better than his. That's good to know. Now I get to do one thing with Vietnam revolts. I could go for Argentina and hope for luck. I could break Syria. No, that's probably nonsense. I could break Cuba or try realigning it. I think Queen Argentina is a fine move. Unfortunate. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Granny sails and the voice are always nice to see. When you're playing the USA, of course. When you're playing the Soviets, it's probably not nice to see those. East European unrest is whatever. Yeah, let's just go for grain. There's little to... There is not much to be said about this card. It's just good every time. And let's see what we get. Oh, please give me flower power. That's what I want. I want... Oh no, I actually want Muslim Revolution. That's my wish. Please give me a nice Muslim Revolution. Socialists. I hate those guys. When I'm playing the USA. Okay, so I think I'm actually giving him socialists and queuing Argentina with them, and if he wants to spend an entire turn on taking France from me, I guess I just score South America. Unless I roll a 1 in Argentina, but hopefully I don't. And I will not actually give him back this card. Firstly, because I want him to play all the nasty one-ups he has in hand. Like Sadat would be nice, OAS would be nice. Secondly, because I really want to have some shot at succeeding in Argentina, and queen with a3 is much better than queen with a2. So I guess he can do whatever he wishes in Europe. The priority will be to play cultural before he gets rid of China. So that's the first one. Whoa, that actually worked. That's nice. Because it means that my chances of securing South America domination are pretty high right now. Which is not something I expected after I saw his early war distall. So now I'm even more glad that I used a 3-up, because with a plain grain screw, this would have been a 1-up of mine in Argentina, which is not sufficient for dominating. I mean, it's not sufficient for Argentina control, what I mean. Voice could be used to kick him out of Libya and Egypt. I'm not sure if I want to do that though when Middle East is scored and Camp David and Sadat are still in the deck, but that's an option. I could try fighting for Koreas with Voice as well, but that's probably not gonna happen, realistically speaking. Everything really depends on what he decides to do with Liberation. Because, if he has Central, for example, with Mexico, Panama, and Nicaragua, he could get an instant domination in Central and grab, like, 4 points? Yeah. Then I probably fix France with cultural. He would also try to steal Mexico with like Mexico, Guatemala, Panama, and just taking Mexico. And he could do that with China, so then cultural is not playable. However, it's not clear to me whether he will play China immediately. He probably should, but okay, he doesn't. Okay, he decides to just take Panama. That's fine. I will retake Mexico and take France. And give him cultural. I hope Argentina doesn't get brushword. Would he brushword Argentina? I think he would brushword Argentina if he had it. It kind of depends. Actually it kind of doesn't depend on his hand. Brushword in Brazil or Argentina is probably what he has to do, regardless of which scoring he has or doesn't have. I'm not sure if he does it now or not though. Also, an important thing to notice is that Nigeria is threatened with Muslim, so I could have actually stolen Muslim from him. It just didn't happen now. Alright, so he obviously sets up realignment in Argentina and has a great secondary target in form of Nigeria. I could answer those threats with voice. I could also break his central domination with voice. Do I want to play voice last? I'm not sure about all those things. Like, even if he realigns me, that's probably not the end of the world. I kinda suspect he is central, but if he has central, there's probably nothing I can do, realistically speaking, to stop that from happening. Huh. Okay. I think that I want to kind of stabilize a bit. So I will do something like that. And... or, you know what? Actually, I will do something like that. And this way, Brush War becomes a little bit less scary. My African position becomes a lot more stable. I suspect if he has Central, he will just drop Central, then I will drop South. Yep. And we're still playing the game. Everything's pretty fine. He still has to get Milops some... okay, I'm just joking. He already has all his Milops. and that means that if he has arms race, he's gonna get the value from it. So I probably wanna stop that. And I can use Che to that purpose. I mean, Jesus, I may use Allende to that purpose. But if he has Ask Not, I want to discard Allende, so maybe that's not the best idea. Do I mind if he has Brush or I mean Jesus, Arms Race? I don't know. I probably would rather not see him use Arms Race right now. So I could use John Paul, but I really want to event him. Huh. Hey, I will Kusaharan State with Allende. Okay. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. He spaces Alliance for Progress. Okay, he doesn't hit that space track, so that means that once again I don't need to counter it. So now let's event John Paul. Since I want to do that sooner or later. He had one small step that explains his attempts at space. I could still wait for Sadat, but maybe there is no point. Maybe I just should event voice. I think that this is the safest and most responsible option, to just kick him out of from there. The chances that this one card he holds is Sadat is pretty slim. Even if it is, then I'm fine with it being out of the deck, since I will get Libya and Egypt. And like right now, when he got rid of Maslin, I feel like at least stepping into the Middle East is a pretty significant value for me, since this is definitely the worst region right now. It's probably not as important as Asia, which is just about to be scored, but is a region which this is the only region in which I can achieve something so significant with voice. Okay, that's pretty standard. Let's go for East European unrest and probably West Germany. Okay, and he didn't have Kennedy, that's great. That means that there is a chance I will get to discard Asia. Not this turn though. Okay, what are the chances that I will get to hold Asknot? Pretty high, because this is a mostly playable hand, which means that I may try to hold Asknot. Junta and the Brush War are unaccounted for, so those are the cards that I may see. What is the state of kitchen debates? Draw in Europe, which can be favorable towards me, so let's count that as +1, 0, +2, +4, 0. Huh? Oh yeah, okay, so we're equal now in terms of countries we possess. So let's go for OAS, since it's much better headlined than played during the turn. Let's try to grab Panama and see what he does. Unfortunate Junta, but if he doesn't roll like crazy good, then there's a chance. Well, okay, if he rolls bad, but there's a chance but I will be able to repair the damage with OAS. Unfortunately, that's not a bad roll by any stretch of imagination. I guess I will break it anyway, because like, what else do I have to do? First, there is not much I can do with that. So now he has some countries in Asia to fill, he has African domination to stop, he has Argentina to grab, and the question of Egypt remains open, and he surely can have Sadat. So there's probably no point in me going for Egypt now. Um, so now when it comes to the country count, I mean the battleground count, he's slightly he's slightly leading, and it's not clear if I can catch him. Like if I do something like this, maybe I should actually enter Egypt with at least 1 point. Then is still not playable. That's fine though, this is probably something I want to do anyway. There's no way Che will be playable, so whenever I get a chance I will just drop it. Okay, let's go into Israel. I may want to use this card to coup, so maybe let's use a bigger one. Let's take that, and let's probably overprotect something like Brazil. Venezuela will probably get overprotected by Panama Canal return, so that's not that important. I just hope Brazil doesn't get brushword. Would be pretty awkward. Okay, Truman. So I get rid of Yugoslavian influence, and he probably cruise Cameroon with it, because like what else would he do? Realistically, there's not much he can do with a one-up. Unless he wants to like take Pakistan and India using one-up after one-up. Yep. Alright. So now we get to coup. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he has Africa scoring, which is pretty tragic, especially if he has Asia. If he has Asia and doesn't have Africa, it's terrible for me. So right now a lot depends on the order of scorings. Okay, let's space them. Okay. Okay, there's a chance he doesn't have it actually. If I draw Asia turn 7, that's huge for me. Yeah, take those 7 VPs, bro. Not a problem. I hope you have Africa at least, right? Let's do that, because right now I need a pretty good scoring in my favor, and threatening African control is not something that he can ignore, so okay, at least he doesn't event solve. If he just solve, the chances of him having another free up are pretty slim, so I will just go for something like that, especially with Asia being out of the game for now. Because Europe control is always an option in late war for USA. No Africa, brush war. A successful one. Jesus Christ. Okay, so, yeah, this game is pretty insane in that regard. Okay, what do we have? Okay. We got some decent cards. I'm probably not gonna... Okay, so I'm not eventing Kennedy this turn. I'm probably not eventing Bear Trap unless on, like, AR7. Since I don't want to help him in getting rid of the cards he got. Salt may be potentially useful in picking up something later on. Colonials are definitely the way to go, headline wise. He got Southeast Asia scoring, so colonials are a great option when it comes to disrupting his position in Southeast Asia, especially with Thailand and Laos being, well, not overprotected basically. I will space Quagmire as soon as it's possible. I'm not sure if... There's probably no way I will be able to event Arms Race, so Arms Race will just go for us probably. Puppet Governments has some decent targets like Saudi Arabia, Iran and India. Those are pretty unusual ones, but they exist. And he spaced puppets earlier, right? So he doesn't, yeah, so he doesn't know what I have then. So he's probably not gonna like overprotect Iran. I mean, he's not gonna enter Iran, Saudi and India for no reason probably. So that works in my favor too. I also don't see any good headlines he may have. I know 7 of his cards and foils are 6 blue cards and Southeast Asia scoring. So there's a chance he actually just headlines Southeast Asia due to lack of other options. And then I will get to steal some VPs with colonials. The problem is that he knows that I have colonials. So if he has literally anything better than Southeast Asia, he will just go for anything else. Shit. Okay, so he redrew Liberation. That's pretty sad. I don't think I'm doing anything about it though. I will just stay in my lane. He basically needs to coup, right? Like, unless he has Central America, but like, what the heck? Like if the only 2 cards he redrew were Liberation and Central, then I will just concede this game. There's nothing else to be done. Okay, he gives me Marshall. Yeah, let's just grab that. Because, like, if he doesn't coup, he allows me to coup Nigeria and basically get Africa domination. He doesn't. Alright, so... Okay, he retakes all those things. He goes 1 into Mexico. Alright, so... Now I guess I just coup Nigeria, right? I probably do it with Bear Trap. Because if he allows me to coup, then suddenly arms race becomes a card I can actually event, and Bear Trap is a card I probably don't want to event because he has Camp David, Our Man in Tehran, Usuri Reverse Skirmish, and maybe something else, which he wants to discard to it, so there's just no point. The question is, if he plays Southeast Asia scoring now, can I actually take a break and grab Mexico before scoring Africa? I would feel much more comfortable if he showed me the last card that he has and I don't know of. Okay, Sadat is the card I knew of. He probably takes Mexico. Yeah, a no-brainer. Okay, so I can surely space now, right? Yeah, this is obvious. Fail. Okay, that's tragic. I hope he doesn't succeed because he's gonna space for sure this turn. He can even do it now. And that's a pretty huge swing actually. It's a 4 VP swing if he hits the space right now. Because now what I want to do is I want to hope for Europe control, and therefore what I have to achieve is firstly, the first like tier achievement is to not get killed by 20 VP track, and the second achievement I want to get is to be below the War Games territory. This is a pretty disgustingly weak Orman in Tehran. Normally discarding blockade wouldn't be that irrelevant, but Africa scoring and Southeast Asia scoring are literally about to get out of this game forever, so it's not like it matters, but it is gone. So I suspect he will get rid of Southeast Asia now, then I will event arms race, then he will space something, then I will event puppets. But there is little space for salt negotiations. Unless I want to end the turn with it, but it doesn't look good. Because then he will have his first action. Yeah, he will just pick up Tickle or Liberation or Quag. So I guess I'm giving him arms race. So that's the only card he withdrew. That's fortunately that's not very significant. Also, that's a pretty weird play. He knew I mean, he should have known that I had arms race to give him. Okay, let's cool Guatemala, I guess. Okay, that's a low roll. However, it forces a response, and he doesn't have many good cards to cool back with. He will probably cool back with Camp David, or ignore it. He may ignore it, but yeah, he will. With Camp David, that makes sense. That's reasonable. Now let's use this opportunity to do what exactly? He has Southeast Asia scoring, Panama Canal, and Usuri Reverse Skirmish, and none of those cards is particularly playable for ops. So if I use Salt to break Thailand, it doesn't give me anything. It gets me 2 VPs if he drops Southeast Asia scoring. It gives me the China card if he plays Usuri. And then he doesn't have a space attempt. And then I can event puppet governments anyway. It's South African unrest is pretty playable. The other option for him is to take Thailand and India with China card or something like that. Then I get China card anyway, right? So is it worth for me to sacrifice Salt right now for China? It's probably worth it, so I will go for Thailand. That means I'm not picking anything up, but those cards are not that good to be picked up. I would love to pick up Africa scoring, but that's not gonna happen. Jesus, scoring timings this game are pretty brutal, man. That first turn was disgusting. Middle East came back to him on turn 3 before I got any chance of going back there. Those two were not that bad, but well, Africa, I mean Asia went before the reshuffle, Africa went after reshuffle. Everything went pretty terribly. One of my asynchronic games, someone made the move, I guess. Yeah, he gives me the China card. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, that's reasonable, but that's pretty greedy. So now I just give him South African unrest. I break China. I mean, I break Thailand, which like saves me 2 VPs. Now he has to drop Southeast Asia scoring, and then I event puppet governments to get to Iran, Saudi, and India. And that's basically a decent result for me. And he also doesn't. Oh no, he had the loss of course. Okay, never mind. Okay. Whoa. What do we have here? Dark 5-year plan. OPEC. Defectors. Dark and defectors are obvious headline candidates. This is a hand with which I could actually try holding Kennedy once more. It's not perfect, I will have to give up something, but OPEC is almost free, Cambridge 5 doesn't work. Marine attacks are pretty... Marine barracks bombing are pretty... It's a pretty free card, I don't even have anything in Lebanon. So basically I think I'm holding Asknode for Central and South America scoring, and Asia scoring. And I'm trying to decide between defectors and DAC. There's no way I kill him with Defcon, so let's just go for defectors. Maybe he's greedy and he headlines his scoring. Or he gets Junta again, so I guess I'm glad that I got rid of that. So that goes to space. That can't go to space anymore, so I guess I'm playing that, or I'm playing China. Maybe playing China is an option for me. Maybe I can equalize Asia at least a little bit compared to what it is now. I wonder if eventing 5-year plan has a merit. Okay, Olympic Games coup in Iran. Huh. I mean, I understand that Middle East is not scored yet, but the choice is this: I can just set up Middle Eastern domination and hope for the best, or I can use the fact that I broke Thailand last turn and I could like go for it like that, and then I get 2 battlegrounds, and then if I manage to take Japan later, then this may result in me equalizing Asia. But that's probably not good enough, right? Yeah. Thailand is only so good because Southeast Asia counts it another time. So I guess I will just do that. Okay, but there is no need for me to do exactly that. I can use a fighter. I can use DAC because I won't be eventing that. And I can also put another point in Thailand to make it harder for him to capture it if he's weak. Okay, so now the problem with Marine barracks bombing is that it takes me out of Iran and I have no way back there. So I will need to enter Pakistan or Iraq before I do anything. So I can either take Pakistan with China, which works, or I could break Iraq with OPEC, and then OPEC is free, and that also works. So I have some options of resolving the marine barracks problem in a relatively harmless way. How Thais are treated in silver playoffs. Oh god. Well, I'm glad he's asking for a friend. If it's a bluff and he actually doesn't have war games, that's a pretty good bluff. Yeah. What are the rules? Huh. I'm not sure where to check it actually. Uh. Okay, I actually have no idea. It is not specified in any place I can see right now. I could ask my Polish friends if they have anything to say about that. Oh, rules. Maybe. That's. Wait, no, that doesn't. I actually don't know. There's something about higher seed in a rules chapter, but it's like from 2021, and it's probably not really relevant anymore. I don't know if. Okay, so he thinks. Oh, okay, so he thinks it's the higher seed rule as well. Uh, if I were to guess, I would assume that there is no reason for it to work differently this year than the last time. So, so maybe this is how it is going to be resolved. Alright, so I will pause the video for now and, well, come back to you when everything's decided. Okay, he says we have an answer and higher seeds advances. So I guess if that's fair. Sure, if you say so. So I guess that's the game. Okay, he's still waiting for something. Oh, now I see that in the open chat. Uh, yeah, it seems to be the case that the higher seed advances. Alright. Well, Jivan, this concludes my adventure with ITSL this season. Not in a good way, not in a great fashion, but well, it uh, didn't really get any better this year. Mm, I hope it goes better in Champions League and Polish tournaments because otherwise it's not wonderful. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time.